Hello, and here we are back at it, day 2 of Nightmare, starting on the Metal Gear stage. Start off by stabbing, not a super successful stabbing. I'm not super inclined to just yeet my knife onto the ground, but set it down.
Your compliance knife you have is a diving knife that has a flat tip on it. While it works as a tool, it's not a good stabbing knife.
Yeah, that too. But there is a spinner down there. Can't see it super well, but you can kind of see a silhouette of it as I shoot at it. I did alright getting the static targets, but the spinner did not go so well for me.
Yeah, it's doing the spinner with a full mag. Smart.
Yeah, you never don't reload.
The problem is not picking a good spot to put the legs on her bipod.
Yeah.
She's not good at like nabbing, like looking at her terrain and choosing it. She tends to just go wherever she ends up.
Alright.
And I try to figure out.
Hit it early that time. Gotta wait for it to come all the way back.
The presentation of this target wasn't actually the best at the time, and
Yeah.
spinners are still not really my thing.
The sun.
Getting it high.
Yeah, there's definitely also a visibility limitations there. Looking through a scope silhouette, it's really hard to tell which direction it's moving. So timing it, and it's very easy to accidentally stop the spinners from coming towards you, because all you got is the silhouette.
Timing's not on.
This is their first stage in the morning.
Yeah, I definitely did get a fair number of hits on it, but that doesn't really do anything for you if it's going the wrong way. I think this is probably actually one section where a red dot would have been better. I do end up just giving it up and heading down the hill. My cameraman goes down the less annoying way. A little bit safer. And there I go. And you have this sort of prop gun here where you get a single. Do I miss with this and crawl under the table? Did not have a ton of time for the shoot house. Probably should have just blown off the spinner with how badly I did on that, but oh well. Kind of wanted to make the attempt. And besides, there is another spinner in here for me to not be successful with. Although you can't quite see it with the camera angle here. But that is in fact what I'm shooting at. A spinner with a hole in it and no chute behind it. So, good times. I think I was having a malfunction in this moment. You can hear the absolute lack of shooting for a moment. Our cameraman is trying to...
Time.
Oh, and there's time.
And this is my run. This is the Metal Gear stage, as we said. Started out with the stabby, which, you know, went better for me this time, because I have a skinny little dagger. After stabbing the guard, retrieve your rifle, and set about getting that spinner and 2 steel targets. I think about 100 yards-ish, maybe 150. I'm not sure. But it's not that bad on the rifle. I do eventually get the spinner. Of course, it does take longer than it should because, you know, spinner's a little challenging.
100%. Still my phone. That makes me feel better.
So I do grab the 2 static plates first. Did I grab the 2 static plates first, or did I get the spinner? Well, anyways, I do manage to get all of these before I move on.
Yeah.
I might buy some off if you got extra.
Very short. 5 minutes on the whole idea.
Yeah, I was just sitting there like,
So you have to shoot a lot.
and honestly,
Point blank shit.
yeah, and so I was a little distracted over the last like 10 days.
Use
We
the-
ended up having shit. That's all I got. Normally I have all my stuff packed before I go.
Man, that was so close,
Think about my
but not quite. Still going.
more, and it just yeah, right out there. We did. I will say, if you ever have to put down, we put her in her favorite chair, gave her all her favorite foods for like the 2 days before she got filmed.
2 days of shooting up until now.
Got her breakfast burrito.
And I think they actually did some adjusting between you and the next one, but it did eventually go over.
Get it.
Yeah. There it goes.
Yeah, my brain is like 75%.
The static plates, easy.
Complaining about the advantages. Here's where you That's my understanding. If I had been coming by myself, I would have been sitting around.
And then down the hill and on to the next spinner. Which, as you said, this is the evil spinner. So it's this typical spinner, except there's a hole in the center of each plate. So if you shoot the exact center of the plate... Oh yeah, I missed the bonus shot. But anyways, you hit the exact center of the plate, you don't hit anything. Also, there's a no-shoot right behind the spinner. Proper evil spinner. Let's see if, like, at some point in here we get the camera where we can actually see it. Kind of an easier said than done, because it's, you know, there's the RO there, a tiny little window. You can just barely see the spinner. Not an easy stage to film. Also, that dude is very tall.
A little more. Keep going.
And once again, I am determined to get this pistol spinner. I spent a long time doing it, but do eventually get it.
You can see the shadow back there. It's
Over.
Oh, there we go.
Move. Is it right?
And the rest of the stage, there's some poppers here, some other poppers on the other side that have some no shoots right next to them, and a few last poppers at the very end. They need to shoot through these small holes in a little thing to sing in front of it. But I don't make it that much farther through this before running out of time. I don't get the last 2 sets of poppers.
Three, move.
Oh yeah, it also has some malfunctions starting up now. This is day 3 in the moon dust for that Glock, and it's
Doors on your left.
starting to have some issues. After this, I pulled the thing apart, and I had magazines that had been sitting in my pouches that just wouldn't feed at all. Like, you could pull the top round manually, and the round below it wouldn't even pop up. Dust had infiltrated through the pouch into the magazine and just froze the whole magazine. And yeah. And first march of this day.
Improvement. Leaving it at home would have been the better way. I thought I was required to bring it.
Once again, having a lightweight pack set up to make this as reasonable as possible helped. I mean, lightweight means my load was probably a bit under 70 pounds total. So it's not that light. But,
Nightmare!
you know, better than it could have been.
Feel the pain.
Like, that dude there is probably carrying well over 100 pounds. Yeah, that hurts. I don't want to do that.
This one's getting copyright struck.
And so far at this event, there's already been a decent bunch of casualties and that kind of thing. So we got our safety car following us in case anyone drops out.
And playing inspirational music, which is really the most important part.
Hey, if someone passes out, you're right here. Yeah, pretty much. Skidder! Walk faster, you can have this!
Man, he looks tired.
I don't regret not carrying around a DMR, even if I had one.
Yeah, well, this match did have DMR targets. Every time they were on the stage, they're at the very end of the
Make it to the
stage.
top of the hill. Now walk back down to the bottom.
Yeah, at no point did we actually get far enough to the stage, like any of us, to even attempt a DMR shot. Very few people overall at the event did. Only a handful of them. There's only a handful of DMR bonuses for anyone at the entire event because the DMR targets were very hard, and the shooting of the event was reasonably hard to begin with.
Coming back down. Oh, yeah.
Alright, this is a Starship Troopers stage. More potential copyright issues. That's playing the music on the stage. Starts out. We have a tennis ball. I fire it into that hole right there. And I almost got it. That'd be a bonus if you get in there, but no.
Table, rifle,
Pretty erratic.
racket.
And you get 5 shots of the static steel right there. This is a very fun, fast run and gun stage. Also, all these people running through here has burned this dust up.
12 o'clock.
You drop 5 shots on each of these things as you run through it. Looking down at my foot there, because it felt like I was running through water from that just sea of dust.
Tank trap.
As you're going around this corner, there's a tank trap. And from it, there's a static steel that's large, you get 5 hits on, and then a tiny little, like, 1 by 2 inch static steel, then you get a single hit on.
5.
Took a few hits to get the tiny one, but
Hit.
no work.
Wobbly bridge.
And then you run down, climb up on the wobbly bridge, reenacting a scene from that movie, where you climb on top of the bug, shoot at the bunch, and throw in a grenade. Climb up the wobbly bridge, fire 5 shots into that thing right by your feet, then huck the grenade into the hole. Grenade.
5 rounds into that target in front of you.
See the muzzle blast just destroying the paper. Well, that's alright. Grenade in the hole.
5
And
shots
there's
each
2 more steel targets. 5 shots on each of them from the wobbly bridge. And this time I took a different strategy because they said we were allowed to touch the rail with 1 point, as long as you aren't holding the rifle with both hands and also holding on the rail. So I kneeled down, raced off of there. It was a lot easier that way. Also, since it wasn't super late in the day, the targets weren't hard to see, they weren't in shadow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good run. Unload true clear. Ready to start.
This was actually my best stage. I think it was for a lot of people, but I actually got bonus at the beginning here,
One can sympathize.
There you go.
which not a lot of people did, I think. Of course, I can't really blame that on me being skillful. I think it was kind of just dumb luck, but hey, a win is a win.
All right. Shooter, are you ready? Stand by.
Stand on this anymore.
My grandma used to always have this.
Safety down. Safety down. Other side. Other side. Swipe it down.
Hey, there it goes.
Fire the rifle.
Yeah, that thing does not have the ambi safety. You've gotten used to having the
5
ambi
shots
safety.
at the bug.
It's nice to have.
1,
around the corner. 5 shots each.
And I'm being a little more careful on it going through this time. I kind of shot from the hip on my partisan run, and I wasn't really happy with how that went. I mean, I still got through the section, but
Move!
I actually ended up going faster, I think, through the scope anyway, because I was more accurate.
All right, 5 on the big, 1 on the small.
And right from the get-go in this section, I braced myself on the tank trap, which I really only did to get the small target last time. And it's a small thing, but it's a big help.
5, 1 on the small. Right at the top of the stick. Hit!
All right, 1 and 1.
Safe, go mount the bridge.
There we go. And to the wall bridge again.
All right, carefully mount the bridge. Make sure the muzzle stays downrange.
And I'm approaching carefully here. We had already had a DQ on our squad right before this,
Directly in front of you.
so I am being very careful of everything on the stage.
5 rounds in the
And
grenade.
the wall bridge is a little intimidating. More so than it looks.
Anywhere in the target.
5 hits into the target there.
All right, grenade. Through the
Grenade.
hole. In.
And did it win that time? So that was also a win over the previous day. And I get my last handful of shots here. Take a knee. And actually do end up finishing this one under par, which I think this was the only
2,
stage in which I actually did.
3.
But definitely very fun. Felt really good about this one.
4. Keep going. 5. 5 more on the right. 4. 5. All right.
Nice.
Load. Show me clear.
One more hike. Where was that?
I was holding it, I just bumped it.
Don't worry, I got it on film. That one's going in the outtakes.
Our second to last ruck session. And yeah, it's hot.
Oh man.
Wind has died down now, which doesn't help at all. And it's going to lead to what is stage 8, Hamburger Hill stage, where this is the only one where they actually changed the stage for Nightmare. And the change was just run the stage twice, back to back. So run up the hill, do all the shooting, go back down the hill, then run right back up the hill again.
This was also the point in the day when a number of us were not having a real good time in the heat. I mean, we were managing, but it was very important at this stage that we were taking care of ourselves, making sure we got the water, the electrolytes, the food.
Will to hear this well because my
And here I go. This is my first run. I actually ended up doing better on this than I did during my partisan run, despite doing it twice. But I did do a pretty good job, I think, of pacing myself.
Grab a little water real quick.
do it.
You want a water?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's dead. It's okay to pick him up by the neck.
Well, if he wants to be picky, he can walk his own ass around. Alright, here we go. And we're shooting out at some targets at the hill. And once we get those done, we get to drag him to the second shooting location.
There we go. Very good.
Of note, I am being lazy at the right times this run. I was not during Partisan. Tried to shoot just about everything offhand for Partisan, which I don't think really helped me time-wise at all, despite not having to get up and down.
There you go.
But accuracy is a bit better here.
You know, and props to our RO here. This dude was out in the sun all day long, running up and down the hill with every single competitor. That guy went up down this hill over and over and over throughout the day. Man, he deserves a medal for that.
Yeah, and it's nearly the end of the day at this point, and he's still chugging along. Yeah, he's, a bit of a beast, I guess.
Alright, get to a good position. Yep. Good target. Safety off. There you go. 1, 2, give me one hit on any of those targets. Exactly. It's just for your brain to say that feels like trouble. You're gonna hear a beep, ignore it. You're gonna hear a beep, ignore it. Keep going. It's a warning. Step forward, there you go. Safety on, place the rifle in front of you.
Alright, and here I am very carefully setting my rifle down after a poorly timed reload. And I get to move on to the pistol portion, which I don't think I even made it to on Horizon Day. Of course, at this point, my rifle, my magazines, and probably, my lungs are full of moon dust, and I get to fix malfunction very nearly every shot. So that did not improve my chances of getting through this. Alright, and then I think we're actually clear here and getting ready to head back down. Lots of packing up to do, and I think I dropped a couple extra mags down in the dirt just because I didn't have enough moon dust yet.
You take whatever you have loaded and run it twice without doing any reloading between the two runs.
And I was well enough equipped to do that, but still, bonus, challenge there. I think some folks were running a little bit low on ammo at this point, but I think it ended up working out for everybody. I believe I did almost the same on my two runs, which in my mind means that I paced myself pretty much perfectly, because that's as good as I'm going to do. Although, I think I could have actually gotten a little bit further on my second run. I think my malfunctions were more severe second time around. but got through the striker portion okay. Getting down to position, knocking out those ones. I do look a little tired there, don't I?
You are going to clear this rifle at least, and you'll probably kill more pistols. Ignore the beep, it's just a warning. Okay?
Honestly, though, doing this twice in a row was really fun, and I don't know, if someone let me do it, I would run every stage twice in a row all the time. It's probably a terrible idea. I just think it would be really entertaining.
Just gotta sign up for the whole match twice and do 2 runs of different kits back to back.
Oh yeah.
I don't see any problem with that. Great idea.
Yeah, there was one guy at Handgun that did exactly that. He went through the course 4 times, I think, total, and did 1 on one day, 1 on another day, and 2 on the 3rd day. Kind of a beast. Also, he apparently has a pretty good money supply, because it's also pretty expensive to do that.
Ignore the beep, go ahead and stand up. Stand up. There you go.
I mean, if you don't have to choose, then why choose, right? But, you know, I think he kicked ass in about every division, so I can't blame him for wanting to do them all.
Yeah, that if you look at the winners up there, you'll see one guy in Handgun that has high scores in multiple different divisions. I think he won 1 of them or 2 of them, but really good. And you know, that's how you get really good, doing lots and lots of practice.
Speaking of which, here we go. And doing the pistol. Oh,
Yeah, you had a lot of practice clearing malfunctions.
It's an actual course.
All right, so these targets aren't that far away, maybe like 150 yards up the hill, something like that. And they're pretty much full-size targets, so this is a pretty easy chunk of shooting here. And at least on one of my runs, I just go 1 for 1 on shooting all these targets up there on the hill.
1, 2, 1, 2. Safety on.
Of note, the first person in our squad to run through this, there's supposed to be a farther distant target that you shoot for your very last rifle shot, and it got broken, so they modified the stage just to switch to the other target array, get a hit over there instead, because, I mean, the target's way the hell up there. It would have been like an hour waiting for someone to haul up some new stuff and rebuild the target, and they're trying to get people to actually get through this match. But yeah, dot and magnifier, these ranges, these size targets, easy, just going right through them. Then up the hill. I'm making the RO run. At least a little bit. Jog.
Fighting a hole. You're going to gauge steel on the left and right. 3 feet.
Yeah, but at least I have my nutrition dialed in, so I'm not as slow as I would be.
right side. Give me one hit.
Move back to the first array.
Rifle down.
That final hit.
All right, go ahead and stand up.
Safe. Put the rifle down and then draw the pistol.
Draw your pistol. Cock it.
There's a bunch of pistol targets.
Solid hits.
These are the close ones. When I get through these, that's okay. Doesn't go so well once I switch to the more distant pistol targets that are off to the left.
Left side. 5 targets.
And when I say not well, it's more of a solid dumpster fire. The very first of the more distant pistol targets, I just pepper the area in a nice circle around the target for the entire rest of this round until I run out of time. No hits. I wasn't pulling it in any particular direction. I'm shooting a circle all the way around the target and continue to do so until I run out of time.
I think at this point of the day, there were a lot of like weird little things that were happening just because people were tired and hot, and they'd been shooting for a while. And, you know, so you saw a lot of little things pop up with the shooting and how people were acting and moving. And I think for you, that was just your accuracy kind of tanked.
Time?
It is. It's a good reason. You understand the course?
So of note, no pistol malfunctions, because before this stage, I went and I completely cleaned the pistol, inside out, everywhere I could get to, took all the mags apart, cleaned all the mags, and yeah, it worked. Pistol ran fine on the stage. This is the run, second run, that actually goes a lot better. I do go 1 for 1 on all the rifle targets. Not a single miss. And pistol ends up going better too. A lot of people use those little posts and just shot off the post. And it is the faster way to do it, but planting the bipod just makes it easier for me. I don't waste ammo. And the time to get down there isn't that high versus the time I might waste by missing from a less stable shooting position.
I will mention that despite the fact that Mage did better on the stage the second time around, he got the score that he did less well on, because that was one of the stipulations for the Nightmare run through this is, yes, you have to do it twice, but you keep your worst score. Make sure that you don't, you know, really half-ass it one run through. So,
though I did run up the hill faster. And we're relatively close to the closer targets now. It's got to be no more than 100 yards. So this is a pretty easy bit of rifle shooting. Still keeping up that 1 for 1. Not the fastest shooter doing it, but I'm not missing. And then switch to the other side and get one last hit. All right, after that last hit, save the rifle, put it down, draw the pistol, knock out these close range targets, which once again, close range targets are close. Not that hard to do. Pistol continuing to run quite well.
3, 4, 5 on left. Almost there.
All right, so I go over here. I don't go for the target I went for last time. It must have been cursed or something, right? Start on the opposite end of the array. And, I mean, they're still farther away, still challenging. But I just chug right through them.
Fuck me.
Bam. Why was that so easy? I have no idea.
And now it's time for our last ruck. Pretty sure we were one of the last, if not the last squad to actually finish up for the day. So I think some of these cars that pass us are actually people leaving. Ah, yes. I look like I am having a fantastic time. I mean, honestly, I am, but that's just because there's something fundamentally wrong with me. But, like, you know, in a fun way.
Higher event. Gotta show the flag because, I mean, it's proper cringe and it's also awesome. And at the end of this last ruck, it's going to be Kasarda At The Gates, stage that had so many problems, so many people were dropping out on it that they just hold it from the scoring, made it a bonus stage. I did quite well. It's kind of sad that it's a bonus stage because it was my best stage on both of my runs. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Give me a thumbs up. I see a thumbs up. Shooter
Beautiful.
is ready. Stand by. Go.
All right, and in this one, you start out with a magazine in your hand and your rifle staged over there. You run up here, acquire the rifle. The target is, I think, 300 yards out. It is a full-size silhouette. Not that hard to get.
No penalties.
You get 2 hits on it each time.
1, 2. Very good. Drop the rifle. No, I'm not going to either. I'm gonna try. I've seen you do.
And I do pretty damn good on hitting the target,
Nice throw.
except for one little minor error with that.
2 hits, please.
Still getting some good throws. And it's worth noting, I am the only one in Nightmare that finished the Kasarda drill.
You should, Charles.
Can I ask you to film again? Sorry.
You're up next, I think. No.
Yeah, dude. Okay.
Yeah. Or sorry, 2 down. Like this.
And yeah, you see the technique? No swing. You just yeet that thing straight from the ground. Definitely the ideal way to do it. Anyone that tells you otherwise, don't listen to them, even if they're people who do better than me.
Excellent.
That some of your initial throws were concentrated on getting the kettlebell to the section of dirt that was less dusty, which was a good plan.
Yeah, they started near the edge with the idea of keeping it underneath the shade. That area is just churned into a sea of dust. Also, I don't really want to lay down on there. You're just digging in deep into that dust, and man, it sucks.
Boom. Over.
1,
I was like,
2. Very good. Throw that kettlebell back the direction you came from.
no. Oh, did it?
Very good. Get up there.
Good roll.
There you go.
Muzzle. One bottom, one top. That's the best one.
I did 1 bottom, 1 top, and then I tried to shoot it over.
1, 2.
I know I got the.
Very good. Keep it going. You got this. You got a bunch of time left. Yep. There you go.
I struggled a little bit, but it was still better than.
And that's when I discovered. That's the stage I discovered my pistol dodge fucked.
Yeah.
It was shit.
I'm like,
No call.
why am I missing? Why am I missing? And then when I finally restarted,
Yeah, the RO is saying no call because at this point,
to the left of the thing.
I picked out a different target. Actually, one of the blue barrels, way off to the right of where the target I was supposed to be shooting at was, and nailed it with 2 hits.
Oh! Hell yeah!
Then, you know, found the real target.
You stand a chance of finishing this drill. 2 hits. Got it! Yeah. Come on! Get a bonus.
Running low on time.
1.
It comes out to be 13/100ths of a second left before par time when I actually finish this.
2 hits from the line. We've got 10 seconds.
Good.
You got this right now. Just get a shot off. 1.
Fucking A, dude!
Shooter is ready. Stand by. Go. Did you have a mag in your pistol?
And here's my run. I am definitely putting in that effort despite the fact that it is the end of the day. I think I was the last person to shoot.
Yeah, I think you're literally the last person to do this. Last shooter of the entire event.
But here we go. Get settled. And I don't put it out quite as good of a showing as Mage did, but I don't think I did any worse on this than I did during partisan.
Bat back and get it.
God damn it, shower.
Oh, yeah.
Notably, I did not throw the kettlebell out as far as he did, and the dust did create kind of a continuous problem throughout this entire run. Although I think it's actually at the next position that's the absolute worst here.
Nice throw.
Sit down farther in front of it.
It does suck.
Less dust cloud.
I'm gonna have my lawyer call about mesothelioma.
2. Good.
Is that?
You've not seen all the lawyer ads about.
No.
Hey, that was pretty solid. Down, 2 hits, move on. But we can see
No, I have not.
how much you're struggling to stand back up there.
Yeah.
Got to be some serious exhaustion going on.
Yeah, once I got all of my stuff off, I did not move for a little while. But at this point, it's the end of the day. I am powering through and breathing in a bunch of dust.
Growth in that
Good.
mesothelial.
Okay. That long one, I think that definition I remember is the.
It's
We
extremely
talked about the inhalation of fine silica.
correct. That one is the.
I think I would have liked to have done Kasarda early on in the day, because I feel like I could have really done better throws than that if it weren't literally the last thing I was doing.
Probably half a target off.
Whatever. I tied with quite a lot of people, so I can't complain too much.
2. Good. Keep it up. 1 more throw, 2 more hits. You got a bonus. Here we go. Keep going. There you go.
Nice roll.
Good roll.
Get up there. You got this. Keep going. One. High, just about a target. 2. Very good. Keep it going.
Let's do it, Danielle.
Keep going. You got this. 1 more big throw. You can get over that next bonus line. Here we go. Keep going. You got 40 seconds.
Nice roll.
And a bonus if you get 2 more hits. Here we go.
2 hits. Come on,
2
we
hits,
got it.
real quick. You got this. 2 more hits. Right now. You got this. No call. A little high, I think. I think you're high again. 1. 1 more. 2. There you go. Keep going. 1 more throw. 1 more throw. Just finish this thing out.
Go, Danielle.
give you a good huck on it.
It's a
Hey,
trick.
Toss it.
You already got that bonus there, and having you throw more and shoot more
The throw was just
is
perfect.
just them trying to kill
Nightmare
you.
dudes, bring up their car.
You threw it one more time,
Yes.
and they called
I'm gonna
time.
make an executive decision. Your nightmare is over. You finished the match. So.
There you go.